guys, welcome back to math. Today is Tuesday, tomorrow is Wednesday. This is the beginning of the week assignment. Miss Norris is so ready for this quarantine because I can't keep going around looking like this. Today our assignment is on clocks. Now we've been working on clocks since probably September. So for those of us who are still needing help with review on clocks, please pay attention. For those of us who may feel a little bit more comfortable, that is okay too. Just make sure you are following us and keeping up with us as well. And so we are doing page 25 and are working on clocks. So hopefully you can tell time by the time it's time for you to go to third grade when it's time. All right. See you later. Bye.
People say to me, "You're a bear. Why do you need to know how to tell time?" And I tell
Sorry, had something in my throat. Anyways, just because I'm a bear, I still need to know how to tell time. There are numbers on the face of a clock. They stand for hours, but come here, let's talk. It takes 1 hour for the hour hand to move. From hour number 1 to hour number 2. Then from 2 to 3 and 3 to 4. The numbers stand for hours, but wait, there's more. I've got a secret. Okay, you can spread it.
the numbers on the clock also stand for minutes.
You heard me. I can't say it any louder. There are 60 minutes in every hour. Each of these little marks stands for 1 minute. There are 60 altogether. Now do you get it? When the hour hand moves from 1 hour to the next, the minute hand goes all the way around. Yep, the minute hand is fast. Really? You bet. In 5 minutes it moves from one number to the next. When it reaches a new number, 5 minutes have gone by. To know the minutes, skip count by 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Bet you never thought you learned that from a grizzly. Oh, and when we reach the 60th minute, 00 is the way that it's written. Sometimes the hour hand points between two numbers, but it's not a choice. The hour is the number, the hand is after. Skip count by 5s to find the minutes faster. Sometimes the hour hand points between two numbers, but it's not a choice. The hour is the number, the hand is after. Skip count by 5s to find the minutes faster. Listen, remember my tips and tricks for telling time? To the nearest 5 minutes, see the two numbers, the hour hands in between. The number it's after is the hour indeed. Here it's in between the 2 and the 3. It's after the 2, so that's the hour, see? Look at the minute hands. Alright, we skip count by 5s to find the time. This is fun, like a bucket of honey. We go 5, 10, 15, 20. Now we see it's 20 minutes past 2. That's 2:20. Time for a bear shampoo. Here the hour's 9. It's not yet 10. Let's skip count to find the minutes again. Let's do it. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. It's 9:35. Let's hibernate all night. Sometimes the hour hand points between two numbers, but it's not a choice. The hour is the number, the hand is after. Skip count by 5s to find the minutes faster. Sometimes the hour hand points between two numbers, but it's not a choice. The hour is the number, the hand is after. Skip count by 5s to find the minutes faster.
Let's tell time to 5 minutes. The hour hand points between two digits. The hour is the number, the hand is after. Skip count by 5s to find the minutes faster.
All right, so today we are learning how to read an analog clock. And some of us knows how to read it because we've been practicing analog clocks since back all the way in the beginning of the year in September. An analog clock are the clocks, the round, sometimes most of them are round, but they're the clock that has numbers and a long hand and a short hand. It doesn't have the actual time. Like sometimes you will read the stove and it literally says 3:15. Or you might read your phone or your tablet or a computer and it'll tell you it's 7:52. Well, analog clock doesn't really tell you the time unless you know how to read it, and then it will tell you the time. So We're going to learn how to work with the analog clock in two different ways. First, we're going to figure out, okay, we know how to read the hand. Now that we know how to read the hand, what time is it? And then the next way is it's going to give us the time, and now we need to know how to write it on an analog clock. So this is what we're going to review today, and then your assignment is page 25. All right, so here we go. Our shorthand is our hour hand, right? Hour is spelled with 4 letters. So the word hour is really short. So that's kind of how it will help us remind us which hand is which. Our shorthand is our hour hand. The word hour is short, just like the shorthand. All right, because an analog clock has a shorthand and a long hand. Our long hand is our minute hand. And the word minute is a long word. So that's how we know minute, long, hour, short. All right? So let's look and see where our shorthand is pointing to. It looks like it is pointing to the 10. Now, we always want to start with the shorthand, okay? And it's always easier to read it that way. So we're going to start with the shorthand. The shorthand is pointing to the 10. So that means it's 10 something, right? The red hand or the long hand tells us the minutes. So we know that the first number is 10. Our hour hand is 10. Now the next one is easy peasy lemon squeezy because it's longer, so it kind of helps us see which one is pointing to easier. As you can see, it is pointing to the 6, but we know when we are reading an analog clock and we read by the minute, we then have to start counting by fives, but we start with the number 1. All right, so the hour hand, it just tells us the time. It just tells us. So the hour hand was pointing to the 10, so it's 10. But the minute hand is different. When we get to the minute hand, we start counting by fives and we start with the number 1. So here we go. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It stopped at 30. So it is 10, 30. Actually, it might help us better if we kind of coordinate. All right. So my hour is 10 and my minute is 30. All right. Let's go to the next one. All right. So remember, we always start with our hour hand, and our hour hand is pointing to the 2. All right. So we know that it's 2, and it's 2 something. We just don't know what that something is. So now that we know our hour, we then go to our minute hand. All right, our minute hand is red, and it's not really pointing to the 4, but remember, it starts to kind of get in between numbers once it gets closer to the 9, the 10, and the 11. So it's really supposed to be pointing to the 4, but this tablet makes me write crazy. So if it stops at 4, remember when we start with the minute hand, we count by fives, but we start with the number 1. So here we go. 5, 10, 15, 20. All right. So we know that it is 2:20. All right. So here we go. Now we have the time is given to us. It is 6:25, but we need to show this on our clock. All right. Always start with our hour hand. So we know with our hour, all right, this is our hour, remember, and this is our minutes. So with our hour hand, we know that it just points to the number that we want. So we can just draw it to the number 6. But remember, our hour hand is short, so we have to make it short. And then our minute hand is long, so we have to make it long. But remember, when we start with our minute hand, we count by 5s, but we start with 1. So here we go. We count up to 25. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So I know to draw my long hand to the 5. So that is how our clock should look. It is 6:25. All right, so here we go. Our last one. They gave us our time of 10:55, but we need to draw it on our analog clock. All right, remember, we always start with the hour and then we go to the minutes. All right, so we know our hour hand just points to whatever number we know it is. All right, so we know that our hour says 10, so we're going to draw a short hand to the 10. All right, and then our minute hand is our long hand, and so we know that when we start with our minute hand, we start with 1, but we count by 5s, and we need to stop at what number? 55. So we count by 5s, start with the number 1, and we stop when we get to 55. So here we go. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. We stopped at 55, we counted by 5s, and we started at 1. So we know that our long minute hand is going to point to the 11. All right, and so now that we've had 4 examples, we are now going to do page 25 with our clocks. All right, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. If you need to write what I did around our clocks, the 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, to let you know what to write when it's time to write your times down, that is okay. Because remember, it stops at 11 here, right? But that doesn't mean we write the number 11, not for minutes. No, we need to write the minutes, which the minute at 11 is 55. So if you want to write that on the outside of your clock, that's fine too. All right, so if you have any questions, please reach out. Remember, I love you, and I'll see you on Thursday. Bye.